Today's episode is a quickie, and it's all about the day in the life of an entrepreneur from the lens of me. So it's the context of what my day looks like, and honestly how much it's changed over the years as we've changed our products, the business model, we've scaled our team, and all the different things that have changed. It has forced or encouraged or created change in my calendar. And I will give you this disclaimer. I'm always changing my calendar. We're still trying to figure it out. It is a work in progress. I'm not sure that we're ever going to fully nail it down, because everything's evolving, right? As everything evolves and grows, and I evolve and grow, and the business evolves and grows, the needs for the business change, and the needs for myself change. What I'm sharing with you today is through the lens of where I'm at right now in my business, and I'm sharing this for a couple different reasons. Number one, it could just open your eyes up to what's possible, and also it's like a peek behind the curtain of what it really does look like, again, in my experience of how we're running our multiple seven-figure company with a team and what that could look like for you. So let's start with the day in the life of an entrepreneur, me. What's my morning routine? 8 years ago, I would have told you the most strict morning routine. It was a freaking checklist. If I didn't get everything done at the time that it was supposed to be done, then I felt like I wasn't set up for the day. I felt like a failure. And a lot of that came from learning so much about millionaire mornings and what millionaires do. I'm going to follow everything that all the books say. I'm going to take all that and I'm going to put it together. And it took me a couple of years to be able to do all of the different things, and I'll tell you what they are in a moment. But what I did was I practiced habit stacking. So it was sort of creating one habit, let's say meditation. And when that became a habit after a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, I would then add another habit on to that. And so when I finished meditating, I would then have my journal prepared out in front of me with my pen ready to go. And so it was like, okay, I'm going to do my meditation. I'm going to add on journaling, meditation, add on journaling. And I did that until that became a habit. And then I added more and added more. When I recognized that my morning routine had become a checklist, I didn't feel like the things that I was doing were giving me the result that I wanted them to. I also really deeply believe in we are creating our future. And so it is a choice, and how I want to show up is a choice. And if I repeat the same patterns and actions and habits and thoughts day after day, I'm going to be living the life that I've always been living. Our brain is broken into left and right sides, and we have a masculine side and we have a feminine side. And so our masculine side is really in control of like logical A to B. It's very linear thinking. It's very like data. The feminine side is going to be our more creative side. This is the colorful side. And so when you're looking at your business, there are going to be things that you do that are going to be naturally more feminine energy and then naturally more masculine energy. And studies have shown that when we jump from one side of the brain to the other, it actually takes us about 23 minutes to be able to get our focus back again. So a perfect example would be if you're writing an email or creating something in Canva, ping alert comes in that you got an email. And so you stop what you're doing, you go read the email, and you say, I'm going to come back to it later. And then you go back to the task that you were on. What's actually happening is you're draining your brain battery faster. And so this is why a lot of times at the end of the day, especially days that we don't really feel that productive, for years, I've been trying to get to a place in my business where I sort of separated either parts of my day where I'm like batching different like energy tasks or different days. Everything I'm telling you is just through my own lens. It's not right or wrong. It's what's currently working for me, but it didn't work for me in the past and it might not work for me in the future. Again, there are seasons. I kind of have like a buffet. I have a platter of tools that I've learned over the years and I've practiced over the years. And where I am today, I'm very flexible with what do I need. Movement is a non-negotiable for sure. So there was a really long period of my life where I competed bodybuilding fitness competitions, and I was a trainer for 18 years, fitness magazines and TV shows, and fitness was everything. So at that time, for that season, if I wasn't crying in a puddle of sweat about to throw up, it didn't count. Like I didn't think it was good enough for a workout. Now, the season that I'm in, sometimes I want to dance. Sometimes I just want to stretch and do yoga. Sometimes it's like, I'm kind of feeling like throwing a barbell around. Maybe it's just taking a walk today. But moving my body is non-negotiable. Getting outside in nature is non-negotiable. Let me get outside. Let me get some vitamin D. Let me be in nature, especially without audio. I want to hear the birds. I want to hear the trees blowing in the wind. So movement and getting outside are non-negotiable. Some of the other tools that I have that I lean on, meditation is pretty much an everyday thing for me. I'd say 5 or 6 days a week at minimum. Whether that is a 10-minute meditation or an hour and 15-minute meditation, I no longer judge myself and say only if it's an hour and 15 is it going to work or is it going to be good enough. I kind of just go with what I want or need, unless I'm working through something or maybe I'm working through a course, because I still invest in courses all the time, then that might be a little bit more specific. But meditation, I love journaling. I do not not journal every day anymore. I did for many, many years, but I love journaling. Mike and I practice gratitude and sort of crazy stupid idea time and what did we mess up today. We usually do that at dinner, but sometimes that happens on a walk. But it doesn't have to be every single day. It's kind of just, hey, what are you grateful for today? Let's unpack some of that. And that came from Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She always shares how at dinner her dad said, like, what'd you screw up today in school, kid? And it was the permission to fail. It was the validation that it's actually a good thing to fail because it means that we're just learning. Fun fact, growing up, I was a competitive gymnast and my mom was very in tune with sort of the mindset stuff that we all are following today. When I was in elementary school, my mom used to play subliminal message tapes. She would play this tape for me every night during bed when I was falling asleep. And I did this all through middle school and high school as well. It was the sound of an ocean, but underlying deep-seated like theta brainwave, there was a voice. You could never hear the voice, but it was this subliminal message. But I think it was about being worthy and being loved. And I played that every single night for my entire childhood. And I'm so grateful that I was given tools like that at a young age. So now when I see people offering stuff like that on the internet, 2 years ago, I bought subliminal messages from a gal on the internet. And so she had all these different messages that she was sending you on worthiness and fear of imposter and showing up and financials. And so a lot of times I'll play those and I'll play them when I'm journaling because it's just music. You don't actually hear any vocals. So lots of tools in my toolbox. I use some of them, whatever I'm feeling like I need. Pretty much movement, nature, and meditation are like the core pillars that are always coming up for me. From there, I move into my day, and this is where things have really changed. As I was building my business and certainly first scaling my business, I worked a lot. Now I have a team and I've been delegating for many, many years. So I really do get to stay in my true zone of genius, which is awesome. And that's the goal when you're scaling a business. So now what my schedule looks like is we really broke my days up based on the type of task that I'm going to be doing, based on the type of energy, masculine and feminine. So Mondays for me are all administrative days. That is the only day on the calendar that I will take a meeting. Generally, that is an internal meeting. I'm not really meeting with people externally, but if for any reason I had to meet with one of our independent contractors, or maybe we're hosting an event and we're going to meet with someone that we're hiring, it's Monday. In addition to the Monday meetings, I'm doing any other admin type work. And so every Monday we'll have a meeting with the coaches that I run. And it's basically, this is where we're at, the theme of the week, what do you need, who needs help, how are the students doing, let's share wins that are coming up, let's share common questions that are coming up. We just make sure that all of the coaches and I are on the same page. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays are open only for coaching. Now in 2023, I don't have any one-on-one clients. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be all of my different coaching calls, which is a very feminine, nurturing, creative energy. I'm doing the back and forth. Now, Wednesdays and Fridays, as crazy as this sounds, they are completely empty. They are not days off. Wednesdays and Fridays are completely open because those are days that I am creating. So anything that I need to create, new modules in our course, videos that I need to create, if we're going to run a bunch of ads and I need to create new ads assets, batching out, filming reels. So Wednesdays and Fridays are very, very full, but it just depends on what season we're in the business and what needs the business and my content has from me. If we're in a launch, there might be work that I do on the weekend. Personally, I love working on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning for an hour or two because I'm not bothered by anybody. Not that anyone's bothering me, but no one's expecting me to be around. Slack isn't popping off. I don't have meetings on the calendar. So I have found that sometimes Saturday and Sunday morning are actually really creative time for me. The way that the culture is in our business is that as long as you're getting the work done, we're cool with it. And unless we're in the season of launch where we all know it's like all hands on deck, I don't need you to be on all the time for like 9 to 5 hours. We don't want it to feel that way. But that's a discussion that we had. Those are our company core values, our mission, our vision. Everything goes back to that. And that's how we make those decisions moving forward. And we're all on the same page. Now, one last thing I will say is there are some things that I do monthly as well as an entrepreneur. So number one is I am part of a female entrepreneurial community. It's a membership community. They do live and in-person events, trainings. I'm also part of a photography membership where once a month I can go and I can get a quick half hour, quick little pictures. Then I'm always investing in myself, whether that is to go to live events, that's to be a part of a mastermind. Day in the life of an entrepreneur, we basically wrap it up. Mike and I try to wrap up our day around dinner time, 4:30, 5 o'clock each day if possible. And then that's when we transition back over to sort of husband and wife. We play music when we cook dinner. We cook at home every single night. We have dinner at the table, no phones allowed, music is on. Our day-to-day oftentimes looks pretty structured because we've learned that structure creates freedom. At the end of the day, we've finally gotten to a place where I really do get to stay in my zone of genius the majority of the time and so does everybody else on the team. And that's what's so important. I am not a diva. That's not what leadership is. It's not, I'm gonna sit back while they all work. We all get to sit in our zones of genius, and that is the best part. So a day in the life with me, it depends what day it's going to be, and it depends where we are in our launch calendar for our business. All right, if you love this episode, let me know. If you have questions, let me know. What tools do you have and what's working for you might be helpful for me or somebody else, and I'd love to share that. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at I am Jessica DeRose. As always, cheers to your evolution.